In the previous experiments, you have seen. Now, let us see the mathematical part of it, and let us calculate the contact force. So, as we have discussed earlier, what is the contact force? The force which is acting in between the two blocks is our contact force. Today, we are going to derive the formula for the contact force. Let us see. If a force capital F is acting on the block of mass M1 from left to right, if this force acts, what happens? The system as a whole, these two blocks act as a single block and they move with the same acceleration A. Then what is our acceleration? A is equal to F by M1 plus M2. Now imagine that there is only one block M2. Ignore this M1 for a while. Now if you ignore this M1 block for a while, what happens? This M2 moves in this direction with the acceleration A because of the application of some force F. This is definitely not capital F, some force F acting on it. Let us calculate this small f. Maybe it is capital F, or other than that, let us see what it is. So, as we know that according to Newton's second law, the force is equal to m times A. What is m here? M2. Into A means acceleration of this. But earlier we have found the acceleration of this block as this, because when the two blocks are there, they are moving with the same constant acceleration A. Means acceleration of this block M1 is A, acceleration of block M2 is also A. That's why I can put this A here and I can get F is equal to M2 into F by M1 plus M2. So this is our contact force acting on M2. Shall we study the same case when the force is acting on M2? The system moves in this direction like this with some acceleration A. So if force is same, this A is also same, because F is equal to how much? M1 plus M2 into A. From this A is equal to how much? Again we get same, F by M1 plus M2, but the only difference is in this case the system is moving from right to left in this direction. Earlier it was moving in this direction. Now what is the force acting on M1? Say that is F2, or say that is F dash. So what is F dash now? F dash equal to, now we have to ignore this. What is our F dash? This mass into acceleration of this block. What is this mass? M1. And what is the acceleration of this block? F by M1 plus M2. This is our F dash. So F and F dash both are same or different? Different. So force acting on this M2 is this. Force acting on M1 is this. This force is called as a contact force. Is it clear? Now let us see what happens if there are three blocks. What is the contact force if there are three blocks? The physics behind this problem is same as before, but a small logic is added, that's all. The remaining portion is same. Yeah. Imagine that there are three blocks now. A force capital F is acting on block M1. Now the question is, what is the force acting on block M2? Say that is F1. What is the force acting on this block M3? Say that is F2. What is our first task? Our first task is to treat these three blocks as a single block, and we have to find the common acceleration. So as we know, F is equal to, what is the total mass of the single, if you imagine this as a single system, M1 plus M2 plus M3 into, as a whole they are moving with same acceleration A, that's why that is A. From this A is equal to how much? F by m1 plus m2 plus m3. See, that is the only difference. Now if I want to find the force, contact force F1, I have to ignore this mass m1 and I have to imagine that a force F1 is acting on these two blocks. Now our target is to find this F1. Now what is our F1? F1 is equal to, when you are treating this F1, you have to imagine these two blocks as a single block. That's why it is m2 plus m3 into acceleration. Now what is the formula for acceleration? This is our acceleration. You have to substitute that here. So F1 is equal to how much? m2 plus m3 into A means F by m1 plus 2 plus m3. That's all. Now if you want to find this F2, what you have to do? You have to ignore these two blocks and this is the only block. Now what is the net force acting on this block? F2. So which is equal to how much? F2 is equal to mass of this block into acceleration. What is the mass of this block? m3 into A means acceleration. So F2 can be written as, I am just rearranging the previous one, m2 in place of m2 I have to m3 into A means how much? F by m1 plus m2 plus m3. These are F2. That's all. Is it clear? So if you want to find the contact force acting on this block, you have to ignore this and treat these two blocks as a single block. If you want to find the contact force acting on this block, ignore these two blocks and imagine this is a single block and force acting on it is F2. So F2 equal to mass of this into acceleration of the system. That's all. Now I am leaving one question for you. You have to do it and you have to send me the answers. I am waiting for your answers. I will give my WhatsApp number. You can send the photograph through my WhatsApp number, or else you can go to our app and click on the contact or chat button, and through that also you can send me your answers. Now what is my question? A force capital F is acting on m3 in this direction. A force capital F is acting on m3 towards left. Now what is the force acting on m2? What is the force acting on m2? Say that is F dash. And also what is the force acting on m1? Say that is F double dash. So I am expecting answer from you. Say and send me the answer for F4 dash and F double dash. Okay, same force F, and check the differences. Now let us go to the next concept.